Hello everybody, good day to you guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you guys are here. Today we are working on a 2013 Honda. It's the Ridgeline. That's like the pickup truck version of I think it's the Pilot. I think they made this out of the Pilot platform. It's a unibody, no framed pickup truck. And the customer brought it here to Ray's Auto Clinic in Bradenton, Florida today to have another inspection performed following a dealership inspection and an estimate. So it was at a local Honda dealership. I don't know if they've done any wrong here. I don't know if they've done any right. All I know is the customer has brought me an entire packet of service history, receipts, and estimates from the local Honda dealership. And he declined those services. Don't know why. I didn't talk to him yet. I didn't hear the story. But he declined all services, which is odd because that whole service packet down there is mostly from the same dealership. So I speculate that some reason the customer decided to no longer have it serviced there, and he brought it over here to me, which is great. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to do a full comprehensive evaluation on this truck, and we're going to compare what I find to what the dealership technician found, and we're going to see if their claims were legitimate, illegitimate, or somewhere in between. So I'm going to start, I believe, with just a test drive to get a good feel of this vehicle and how it's operating, how it's driving, how it's shifting, how it's stopping. Does it make noises? Does it vibrate? Does everything work inside? So we're just going to treat this like a pre-purchase inspection, so to speak. I'm going to build my estimate from the defects that I find, and then we're going to compare it to what the dealership over here told us, and we're kind of going to go from there at 139,703 miles on the odometer. All right, first things first, let's go ahead and take this thing out on a quick test drive to see how it feels and drives and whatnot. We'll go from there. I'm hearing some squeak out of the brakes. That happened pretty quick. Never even made it out of the parking lot. All right, had a shift. That feels pretty good. Engine sounds good. Let's check on that brake squeal. I'm not hearing it now. Okay. Ooh, I heard something move just then. We went from a stop to a start and something just moved. Oh yeah, there's something in the front end moving. Bet you dollars to donuts, it's control arm bushings. Yeah, it's a Honda thing. Everybody with a Honda knows about those infamous control arm bushings. The rear donut bushing type of deal likes to blow out, then the control arm will flop away, or flop around rather, as you drive and experience different loads on the suspension. I was pumping the brakes. I heard some noises. That just feels like brake pad friction noises though. Okay. Good to go. You can go. No, you're good. Go ahead. Come on out. All right. Teamwork. Yeah, that steer, I had to fight the torque steer on it. It was trying to drive me over there. Yeah, I hear that noise again up front. All right, let's go ahead and bring this back to the shop. Let's swing it into a stall. We're gonna lift it up, do an undercarriage visual, do an under hood visual, and then we're gonna go through the items suggested on the dealership paperwork, take a look at those, and see if there's anything that really needs to be done on this. I'm super confident that it needs some suspension work, but our visual will tell us the rest of the story. Go up. See you, boss. He was backing out. Yep, still hearing that clunkety clunk noise. I wonder what that is. Watch this. Hey! What? I need your help. Okay. I was stalking you. I saw you get up from the couch. I knew you were coming over here. Can you jump in this thing and power brake it forward and reverse? I need to do a control arm bushing check because I hear some clunky action, but I can't see it while I'm driving.
Sorry about the mic noise.
The mic noise? That's okay. We have realism here. Yeah. So yeah, put it in drive first, go in reverse next. Rule number 1, don't run me over because I don't want to die at work today. We're gonna come down here. Ooh, let's see what we got. That's the bushings I was talking about. Go ahead and give me some torque. Go reverse. No, that one's good.
It feels horrible.
Doesn't it? Yeah, go forward. Maybe it's just motor mounts. Let me go to the other side. Do me a Flavor Flav. Pop the hood while you're sitting there. We'll check motor mounts too. Thank you, sir. The Tree 5 Honda. That's the same engine that's in my miniature van. There we go. Let's check this other control arm. Hey, go ahead and torque it. Reverse.
Whoa. That sounds like garbage.
Yeah, it's not those bushings. Go, do forward again. Motor mount. All right. Maybe it's mounts. Let's do some reverse again. Reverse. Go forward. Definitely that front mount, okay. Go forward again. And that one, look at that one. Look at that one. Keep doing that, bro.
It feels like it's gonna come through the
That
dash.
one's super broken. Alrighty. Do me a favor, back it up about 18 inches.
Who's calling me?
Who is calling you? Tell me it's a scammer.
It's Aaron.
A-Rod?
Yes.
Hello.
What up, man?
What's up, bro?
Yo, what up?
We're recording you on the internet.
Keep my mouth closed. No swear words out of my mouth today, boy.
Good boy. Here, hang on a second, guys. Let me hang up real quick. Let me talk to my buddy. Be right back. Okay, let's bring this thing up. My controls are over here. Green subscribe button. Here, you hang out in there. We're going airborne for a minute. Moving on up. Oh, we're gonna run this thing up here, and then take a gander at what it's doing with all that motion, and then we can do the undercarriage inspection to see if the dealership was accurate with their diagnosing. Woo! Green subscribe button. Part 2.
This AC feels fantastic.
Is it nice in there? I'm a little jelly. I want AC.
It's a little warm outside.
It is, yeah. Yeah, about 92 today. We need more breeze.
Plenty coming out of this vent.
Here, let me have some torque again so I can check this bottom engine mount. Just forward and reverse should do it.
Am I gonna go anywhere?
No,
I'm sorry, I
I
had
don't
to.
think so.
I had to.
You might drive off the rack, I don't know.
Whoa. My butthole just puckered.
Yeah, mine too. I ran away.
Yeah.
What made the clicky noise?
I don't know.
It's not the lifting points, those are all good. Whatever, do it again. Keep going. One more time. All right, that one's broken too. We got 2 broken motor mounts, all right. Woo! Yeah, that was scary. Dude, I ran.
I heard it pop and then I saw you. I was like, that's not good.
Here, let me let you down there, man. Let me let you down. That would hurt? What would hurt?
That would have hurt.
Having a Honda turn you into a ketchup packet? Yeah, actually, it probably wouldn't hurt.
It wouldn't hurt you. It would hurt me if I hit the ground. And then you're like my brother, so it would hurt my feelings that you would no
Yeah,
longer be
you
here.
would be physically injured from the collision, and I would be physically liquid from the smashing.
I'd be mentally injured too.
Yeah, it'd probably ruin your head and thought process for all time. You go ahead and shut this thing down, man. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Appreciate the assistances. So, we got a broken motor mount, another broken motor mount. That one looked good, and the one in the back's probably okay. So, I know I need at least 2 mounts on this thing. I don't know if the dealership had engine mounts on this.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did either. Somebody didn't notice. All right, now that we've unloaded the passengers here, let's go back up and continue our visual.
Nothing about a motor mount.
No? You check the paperwork? No motor mounts?
What I do see, this is kind of weird the way it's worded. It says, where'd it go?
Censored. What's it say? Front axle.
Found driver front lower control arm ball joint to be possibly blown, as well as driver front stabilizer bar link. Looks to be torn. Recommend diag to determine if anything needs to be repaired.
Okay. Here, let's read that again verbatim while looking at the driver's side lower ball joint.
Okay. It says front driver lower controlled arm ball joint to be possibly blown,
It's possibly blown.
as well as the driver front stabilizer bar link looks to be torn.
The stabilizer bar link, that looks to be torn, possibly. So this is possibly torn. Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. I found it. All right, so that's possibly torn. Did they mention that the CV axle is flinging all the grease all over the ball joint?
Driver front CV axle is leaking grease and needs to be replaced.
Okay, got it. So that's on there. That's legit. But I don't think there's a problem with this ball joint. You want to come over here and shake this down for me?
Found steering rack leaking as well. Both front outer tie rod boots to be leaking. Driver rear shock strut leaking.
Both front outer tie rod boots to be leaking. Sure. Yeah, that thing's got a tear in it. Sure, I'll give you that.
Oh my.
Did they mention that the tie rod is not tightened down?
Nope.
Wow. That's actually not great because that could have ruined the knuckle. Here, come take a look. Here, switch me. Hold this camera. Go take, here, hold that flashlight. You won't believe this, man. Look at this, watch this.
Oh my. Oh my. That's...
Come on, guys. All right, let's do the other side.
Not moving like that one.
I feel a dunk in it, though.
The boot's blowing out though.
Where's that motion coming from?
Inner.
Is it the inner?
Yeah, it looks like the inner.
Okay. All right. Well, I sort of don't agree with everything they said, but yeah. Oh, it's not the mount. That's this rack and pinion. Okay. So we got a rack leak. Did they mention a rack and pinion leak on that estimate? I think they did. Let me see that paperwork, flashlight. It says something about some struts too, right?
driver rear shock strut leaking.
Driver's rear shock strut leaking. On the driver's side, yeah, there's a little bit of oil in there.
As far as the steering, it says steering rack leaking as well as both front outer tie rod boots to be leaking and torn. Recommend diag to determine if anything needs to be repaired or replaced.
Okay. So they wanted, wait. So they did a visual on it, found some defects, and then they want to have a paid diag to make the estimate. Is that what we're doing?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that seems awesome. This control arm is torn. It's not blown out like I had thought, but there is a substantial tear in that control arm bushing. You saw the motion. I'm going to recommend replacing that because it's not going to get any better. That one's torn up pretty good too. So that wasn't our main symptom, but it is a problem for sure. So I'm going to pull this wheel off right here, and we're going to take this tie rod out to make sure that the steering knuckle has not suffered any damage to it, because this shaft out of this ball joint's been flopping around inside of here, and it may have wallered out the shaft. So let's pull the wheel off and inspect it further, closer, more. 22.
Hey Ray,
Yeah.
did you know they have a shop supply fee on every line?
I noticed that. I noticed that. So every line item that is on the estimate has its own independent $48 shop supply fee.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it 48 bucks?
Let's see, this one's 21. This one is 13. This one is 39. This one's 48.
So they're doing it off of a
18,
percentage.
48, 48, 23, 48, 48. Yeah.
And grab your calculator. Do me a favor real quick. Calculate how much in total of shop supply fees are on that estimate. I'm a little curious. So front brakes look all right. Yeah, that's the torn boot they were so concerned about. Weren't concerned about the flippy floppy. So let's pull the pin out of it and unbolt it. See what it looks like. So we have a little cotter pin in here, caked in the grease. Go ahead and walk this thing out. That's our pin. And I think that's, no, that's not even tight at all either. Look at that. I can move it. I think that's a 17 millimeters.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
$361.39 in shop supply fees.
$361.39 in shop supply fees. $300 in shop supply fees. So that's your brake clean, your floor mats, your steering wheel cover, your windshield washer fluid.
If you're gonna do a shop fee, it should just be one fee, and it's usually no more than 30, 40 bucks, something like that. 3%, something like that.
I'm 3% capped out at 39. So no matter
How
no
big
matter
the job
what,
is, it's 39 bucks.
and it's not 3% off labor, it's 3% off parts. So I pull 3% off parts, shop supply fee, capped out at $39. Doesn't matter if it's a $400 work order or a $4,000 work order, it's $39 fee, and that's to cover non-itemizable items like sealants or your brake clean, or
pig mat, or
your fluids, your pig mats, just stuff that's disposable that we don't want to have a laundry list of $2.99 charges for customers that we used on their car. We just do it.
It
and
even
in general,
covers like little random nuts and bolts that we may have to.
yeah, actual supplies. We needed supplies once. I worked at a tire store, and I needed some shop supplies. And I walked up to the boss. I was like, "Hey, can you buy us some of this, 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 and this real quick? We're all out of these things, and we need it. You know, some of it was brake clean." And they told us, "No, we don't have any budget for that." And I'm like, "But we charge like $40 shop supply fee on every ticket that comes in here. So that means that the supply fee should be adding up somewhere. So you have a whole lot of extra money that wasn't parts or labor that's designated shop supplies. So you're telling me we can't buy shop supplies with the fee for shop supplies?"
That was going.
It was going right in the pocket. Back to our fasteners right here. Okay, threads are all right on it. Everything is a hammer. And let's take a look in a book. It's reading rainbow. I think that looks okay to my eyeball. I think that's okay. So it's just been running loose for who knows how long, flopping around. Let's see if we can't tighten this back up. Now, naturally, we've got a power steering gear leak, right? So I'm gonna recommend we replace the rack and pinion for the leak. When I do rack and pinions and inner tie rods, in my head, there's really no reason to leave old outer tie rods on. So when the inners get done, or the steering gear, which will come with inners, when that gets replaced, we always add on the outers. That way the entire system has been serviced. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here at the dealership's estimate and their inspection and kind of go through there. So they wanted to do an oil change on it. I think that was done because the sticker looks like it's okay. We wanted to do a brake fluid service on it. Yeah, some brake fluid, shop supplies. Where's that shop supply here? Parts. So 60 bucks in fluid, that checks out. Not for 1 quart though. 1 quart for 60 bucks. An hour labor, 135. Miscellaneous, I don't know what that is, for $21. I'm assuming that's a shop supply. Oh no, here's the shop supply, yeah, $21.44. So it takes $21.44 in shop supplies to put in 1 gallon or 1 quart of $60 a quart brake fluid. That seems a little pricey, okay. Transmission, drain and fill. So we pull the drain plug out, we add 4 quarts of fluid. We do it for $69, $13 in shop supplies, 56 bucks for some fluid. That's cheap fluid. And some taxes, okay, that checks out, $150 for cheap fluid, okay. Spark plugs, $429. 212.82 divided by 6.
212.82.
Yeah, what do you got?
212.82 divided by 6.
Yep.
35.47.
35.47 per spark plug. Yeah, it's a tad on the high side, but I'll live with it. Timing belt and a timing belt tensioner. $2,345 for a timing belt, tensioner, water pump, and some coolant, which is awesome because we're also charging another 0.8 hours to put a power steering belt on it, even though the belt has to come
off to put the timing
it's got to come off to put the timing belt on, so we should have just put this belt as a part over here on this line. That would,
I just had a conversation with a potential customer this morning
about that.
About doing labor that way, where they're adding, that belt's already got to come off so you can get to the cover to take the timing belt
Yep.
off. So it's just going to get packaged into one deal. It's not going to get 0.8 here and a 2.4 there. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the questions that she asked. And I told her this morning, I said, no, we will package it together.
I'm not going to rip people off for no reason.
I said, I already got to go in there to take that belt off to get to the timing cover. I'm not going to charge you 0.8 because I have to go back in there anyway. I'm already going.
Now, if the car just came in and they said, hey, we just want a belt, then sure, I'll bill you labor to put the belt on. But if we can package this and make it cost effective, let's do it.
If
so
it's something I got to remove to do the job that I'm going after, then yes.
All right, so we got a front axle. We're looking for a couple hours labor to replace the axle. Sure, I would have done that along with the power steering. I'd have done the power steering job, added the 2 outer tie rods, the steering rack, and then thrown the axle in there to go along with it. That way we don't have to charge like $233 in labor to put the axle in. Suspension diag, they want to do the left front lower control arm, but not for the blown out bushing. They want to do it for the possible leak at the ball joint bushing or the ball joint seal. So we're recommending something for the wrong reason. We just recommend that for the wrong reason. So that's $1,000 for no reason. Okay. Steering diag. Found steering rack to be, here we go. Now we're getting to where we're supposed to be. We got a power steering rack for $1,200. They did put 2 outer tie rods in there. They put in 4 quarts of fluid. $48 again in shop supply fees. And then there's the steering rack. Parts total $876. Labor $211. That seems a little weird, but okay. Rear suspension diag. Driver's rear shock strut looks to be leaking. Recommended diag to replace if anything else needs to be repaired or replaced. I don't know why we need to diagnose more. It needs a strut, and I would do both struts because you're supposed to do suspension in pairs. We wouldn't do brakes on one side,
No.
right? So that's not that great of a $678 estimate. You're not gonna get any value to your customer, and their vehicle won't be stable because one side is outperforming the other side, and that matters while maneuvering, okay? Diagnose engine leak or something. Found heavy amounts of oil building up on bottom side of engine. We need to diagnose the engine oil leak. And there's shop supply fees on there for $23. Here, let's go diagnose this oil leak right now.
What exactly shop supply do you need for a diagnosis? For a leak?
Well, my glasses cost money, and I'm flat rate. You better pay me. Hey, speaking of flat rate and dealership, and you better pay me. I've got a members only video that I'm about to make it non-members only. I'm going to put it unlisted, okay? So you're only gonna be able to see it through the link that I'm gonna put down in this video's comment section and in the description. It's a parody skit that I made as if I was the dealership. You know the one I'm talking about? Yep, that one. So I will direct you over to that one. I wanna see how many of you guys go and check out my unlisted video.
Yeah, hi, I'm your local car dealership. You pay me.
But let's go ahead and not charge them $258.34 or whatever to go and diagnose the oil leak. So we found heavy amounts of oil building up on bottom side of engine. Okay, so here's some seepage. There's a drain plug leak.
That's bad when they got to label that engine oil.
Engine oil, yep. We have an engine oil pan leak. See it? Yeah, it's leaking all around the pan. That's pretty clear as day. I must not be charging enough money, man, because I just lost out on $250. This VVT solenoid assembly right here, and this timing belt tensioner right there has some oil behind it, so there's a leak, okay?
Valve cover is not leaking. I can see it through the crack. Well, when you were on that side over there.
I can't see it. Well, we got a leak right here. Here's some heavy oil buildup. There's some on that steering gear. So I don't know about heavy engine oil buildup for $260 something. It's pretty clear to me that we've got some small leaks that will probably end up being repaired if the customer wants to do all that timing chain work or timing belt work. So we don't need to diagnose something that's literally staring at us in the face. This is a non-issue right here. That's a non-issue. I realize it's a leak, but it's a leak not worth the effort on a high mileage vehicle. That's what you get when you got 100,000 mile vehicles. Now that we're dripping, so this one's worth it.
This is the power steering leak. It's got a drip.
Yeah, that thing's pouring out everywhere.
I bet that boot's filled too.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Poke a hole in it, it'll drain oil right out of it. The seal is back here for the power steering rack. And there's one up top at the input shaft. But okay, all right, so I'm discrediting the engine oil leak diag line. I don't think that counts. That's not legit. Moving on. And I guess that's coming up to the end of it. So what we ultimately have here is a $7,000 estimate. Most of it's diag work for stuff we can already see. And then the repairs, forgive my French, it's half-ass at best.
361 of it's shop supplies.
And 361 is shop supplies. Yeah, and we still didn't fix the broken engine mounts, which is the worst thing wrong with this thing. That's the worst possible thing.
Which one's broken? I didn't see it.
The center one down here, and then the one over here on the side is just gone.
I could feel it. It felt like it was going through the firewall.
Yep. So what we really need here is a steering gear. We need 2 lower control arms, okay? Outer tie rods. We could do the sway bar links because, yeah, dude's right, the boots are torn, but they are still functioning. So if I wouldn't just sell those sway bar links, I will recommend them in conjunction with these control arms and with the rest of the work, because all this stuff does have to get disassembled. But as a line item on its own, that's kind of a non-issue just for a torn boot, because the reality is all these boots tear because they're made out of rubber, and that's what they do, just like these control arm bushings. So from my point of view here, I'm going to recommend control arms for safety, do the steering gear for the leak. We can do the timing belt based on mileage. We will add an oil pan reseal.
He already had the timing belt done.
Huh?
He already had the timing belt.
He already had it done?
Yeah, he had a Honda. Before he bought the car, I do believe he was telling me that it already got done by a Honda technician off the clock. There's already parts receipts in there.
Oh, side work. Side work, okay. All right.
That did get done.
Well, then we don't need to do that either. We could do, that's a non
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see, because that right there is not technically considered a leak.
Yes, it's not. You know what? I want to show you guys a trick real quick. I'm going to show you something, and you're going to know what I'm talking about when you see what's about to happen. Do not do this. This is larceny. This is theft. This right here is 1,000% cheating, and everybody does it. Watch this. Now wait 20 minutes. Speeding up, speeding up, speeding up. Look,
We got a leak.
your strut leaks.
Oh man.
See that? When all that foam goes away
It looks like
and all this stops, you got oil running out of this strut. We got a leaker.
But it's not leaking.
Now, when a strut really does fail, here's what you're gonna find.
Oh, it'll be everywhere.
When it really actually fails, you'll find this drip in your driveway somewhere. But that little bit of seepage over here, I don't think that's worth $700. And it certainly isn't worth $1,400 to do both sides.
Good example of what you're talking about, where you see it dripping like that.
Yeah.
I had a Ford Fusion one time, and they didn't even know, but this was actually covered under warranty. I'm checking out the car and everything, and it's literally dripping down, and there was a puddle on the floor, and they didn't even know their strut was blown out.
Really?
No, they didn't.
Nobody told them?
They never said anything about it. And I was like, I went through the whole, doing the vehicle inspection, and I can't tell you, hey, this is bad. It's, I need you to say,
you found oil in your driveway.
Yeah, because it's under warranty.
It's under warranty.
It's under warranty, yeah. If we're doing an inspection on a car under warranty and we find a leak, we can't tell you about it because it's under warranty. You have to tell us about it, and then we can tell you about it, and then we can have it warranted.
But yeah, like you're saying, see how that's what it would look like.
That's what they really look like. Yeah, that's a leaking, blown out stripe.
And it would be on the ground, like this.
Yeah, you'll see it. My van does that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not fixing it. Nope. So now is the point where I will create my own inspection with my own pictures and my own descriptions with our own prices, and then we can submit that to the customer, and then they can take all the information, all the knowledge that they've got, and then make a decision. But I don't think that this car needs $7,000 worth of work. I really don't. I think that's kind of a stretch. What do you think? Stretching too much? So we just kind of had a good little chuckle going through this estimate over here. So the dealership's version is asking for $6,919.22 to halfway fix some of the issues over there. And we didn't even get a hold of the engine mounts, which were the most user observable problem in the car. Like, you felt that steering wheel everywhere, and I felt it on the test drive. It wasn't right. So we didn't even address that, but dealership's got us at almost $7,000 right here. A lot of this stuff is maintenance items, like the transmission fluid, the rear differential fluid, the spark plugs, that timing belt, which it doesn't actually need. The guy said he had that done off the clock somewhere else. It doesn't need a timing belt. So what I've basically done is built a package here to reflect on the defects that the car actually has, and we're just going to go ahead and cut to the chase. I'll show you where it landed. $5,369, and that's fixing it right. That's replacing the power steering rack and pinion with a new unit, not a remanufactured unit, with fluid and both tie rods. We've got both lower control arms, labor for the control arms, both sides, and then I stuck the axle in there for free $99 because there's really no need to charge labor to do that axle when it's all apart for the control arms. Am I wrong? Correct. So we just throw the part in there, no big deal. Now, since we had to do some suspension and steering work, either one of those requires wheel alignment afterwards, which the dealership didn't even put on there. So you missed the mark on that one. I went ahead and did the estimate for both of the broken engine mounts. That's the one on the bottom and the one on the side that we saw, right? So we added that. This was nowhere near on the dealer's estimate, so that's their major problem. I went ahead and upsold and decided to offer the differential fluid exchange because that wasn't on here, I don't think. Moving on, continuing with my upsell and to emulate the dealership, I put a brake fluid exchange service on there for $165, not $239. We've got a transmission drain and fill on there. I'm at $178. I think the dealership was pretty close to that, $213 or something. I also added a coolant exchange on there, and we added a line to replace the engine oil pan gasket. It's all silicone RTV sealant, but I need $453 to actually reseal it. Dealership needed 200. You're gonna love this. They needed $251 just to tell us what the leak was, because they found heavy amounts of oil and shop supplies. So they wanted $250 just to tell us what it was. I need $400 to actually fix it. Value. Isn't that something? I love these diag lines. So what I'm willing to do is repair all the obvious stuff that's staring at us in the face, bring the maintenance back up, and I'm coming in $2,000 cheaper than the dealership.
I have a question.
This is why we're so busy. What's your question?
So why on every single line, instead of at the end, why is every single line item is a shop supply added to that?
Because I
mean, for a belt, what are you going to use for shop supply?
You're not. And this is where the plausible deniability comes in, because if the guy who instituted the policy is 4 people separated from that charge, then most people they're just going to pay it. There's no accountability. And whoever instituted that policy, they can go, oh, I didn't notice that we're overcharging. We better stop doing that if they get caught, which they are.
That's crazy.
All the dealerships are doing it.
$18 to change a belt in shop supply. The way they use $18 worth of towels.
No, they needed. Hang on, where's that belt at? I'll show you. They needed $199.29 to change a belt, and they needed $18 in towels.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reason that they're putting the shop supply and the tax on each individual line item is for transparency. They want to let you know, hey, this is what it's going to cost. Ours shows up at the very end.
Yeah, what's our shop supply at?
Our shop supply is $39. Total fees $40.50. That's $39 on shop supply, and there's going to be an oil disposal in there somewhere because I have oil on it. So I'm at $40 total. They're at $40 just on a diag line. But the reason they break the taxes and the shop supplies down is so they can stack shop supplies. The taxes is for transparency. That way you kind of know, here's what I'm being taxed on each individual item. And the reason that it's on each one individually on the estimate is so if I decline this, I still have a shop supply baked in over here. And if I decline this, I've got one baked in, you know, over here, instead of having them all just add up and then accrue them at the end of the work order when you review your, it makes sense, but it also,
they don't make as much money.
They don't make as much money. Yeah, that's the reason.
It's about making money.
Of course it is, but there's
a correct way to make money.
There's a correct way to make it.
That is not correct.
I don't like that way. That's the, you're overpaying drastically. You are overpaying if you're saying yes to
Is this a dealership?
these types of dealerships. Yeah, it's a local dealership.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not
going to dox them. We don't need to do that because
let's not.
no crime's been committed here. But
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna run for Congress. So this is the super awesome synopsis on this. So my customer, who was a viewer, went to the dealership and they're like, hey, that seems kind of high and I'm not feeling too good about this. Let me take this somewhere else. And they made an appointment and they waited 2 weeks. They came over here, and what we have found is that the dealership was mostly right about some of their stuff. Mostly, okay? They weren't completely right. Had the customer said yes to that dealer's estimate, they would have gotten about 2/3 of what they needed, and they would have paid about 40% more money than what they needed. So what's gonna happen is she's gonna call the customer and explain to them what we found and what we didn't find. And we're gonna explain to them that my work order is prioritized from top to bottom, most important to least important. And then she's gonna tell them, hey, here's how much money Ray needs to get all this stuff fixed, plus some things that the other people didn't find. So we are ultimately delivering to the consumer a much greater value at a much, much lower price. And I think that is why we're gonna get the sale of $5,000 and the dealership is gonna lose the sale of $7,000. So they made zero and we're gonna make, we're not gonna make 5,000, but it'll be 5,000 on the books, which is way more better than zero on my end. So that being said, thank you, dealership. I appreciate your training programs and how your training and how your staff leads customers to my shop at Ray's Auto Clinic here in Bradenton, Florida. Isn't that nice? Yeah, shameless moment of self-promotion. You appreciate it too there, don't you, buddy?
I do.
And if you would like to make a phone appointment with us, you can always call me at 941-896-8610.
Oh, your first commercial! That's awesome. All right, guys, so we have figured out what this car needs, what it doesn't need. We have the estimate prepared. It's time for you to go to work, and then we're gonna get a yes on this. I get to order parts, which none of this is gonna be here this week. Right now it's Friday. You're gonna see this on like Saturday or Sunday, or maybe on Monday. We're not working on Monday, so I don't know if I have a video for you guys on Tuesday. But if I don't, then I'll have one for you on Wednesday. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and close this one out. I'd like to thank you guys, as always, for watching this video. Please, please, please register your opinions about this situation down in the comment section below. We would all like to see what you guys, as the viewers here, think about this this scenario, this system, and the way we build things out and do business here at Ray's Auto Clinic. We love the feedback. See you guys later. Thanks for watching in a day, in a Honda, in a video, in a transmission.